What's going on, Knuckleheads? GKM Gaming here with another LEGO Legacy Heroes Unboxed video for you. And today, I want to go over the quest event calendar and what we know. Now, it just popped up in-game. We got this on Discord a little while ago. Basically, when the update came out, everyone on Discord got the quest calendar and the timed quest calendar. But people who don't use Discord or only use Reddit or only play the game or only are on YouTube looking up videos, you didn't get this information and nobody's really put it out there for you, so I figured I would do it. And actually, the time quest dates are not anywhere in the game. It's only on Discords under the announcement tab. So I'm going to go over the quest event calendar first, right? So we already had Clockwork Robot. That is already wrapped up and done. And we are in the last few days of the early adopters Blacktron Brick Pace. I've been calling it Brick Space for like a year now, but apparently it's Brick Pace. Who knew? So, the next thing we got coming up is Mind Games is coming back. That's right, it's your second shot at Jay. And this Brick Pace event was widely regarded as the best Brick Pace event. Anybody who's currently behind in some Ninjago farms, this is a really good chance to catch your Ninjago team up, especially now that we have access to Garmadon for at least 3 stars. You know, we've been able to farm Lloyd. I just got my 7-star Lloyd. Like, Lloyd was probably my 2nd or 3rd arena farm, and I just got him to 7 stars. So, you know, we're starting to get that. Maybe you've been farming Kai. Maybe you've been farming Zane. Obviously, I got a lot of Zane tiles. Here's your chance to get some more Ninjago stuff, or finally get Jay to... Let's see, I got him to about 4 stars last time, and I think by the time you finish this Brick Pace again, you're going to be able to get him to 6 stars. Unless you're going to, you know, put some gems into it, I don't see you getting him to 7 stars. I had a lot of gems saved up. I used them on the Quincy event, and I'll tell you why I did the Quincy event, why I put my gems into refreshes and stuff for that event in a little bit. But I think that if you're sitting on a hoard of gems, Jay is a great investment. Ninjago's a really solid team, counters Bucks really hard. People are commenting on some of my videos. They're like, it seems like everything counters Ninjago now. And I'm like, yes, that's true, but Ninjago is really the counter to that Buccaneers team. Even those mixed Lloyd Woo Bucks teams, Ninjago is a hard counter to that. They dish it out, and they hide under the stealth, and they really handle it. I've tried to use Primo as a counter. It's a weird thing with that because like you either have to not get stunned by Redbeard when you're facing those stealthy teams, or you have to basically use his taunt to give everybody speed up, and then when you get stunned, hope you don't die, so then Redbeard can clear the stun. It's crazy stuff to use Primo, and actually he's getting better with the gear upgrades, so I actually do like his stats a little bit more. I think you're going to see a lot more viability with Primo, but that's besides the point. We're not talking Primo, we're talking Jay. If you want to run Techie, especially when Gen Slate comes out, Jay is going to be required for you to do that. So honestly, I'm gonna just farm him through the thing. I'm gonna use, obviously, all my event energy is probably gonna go into Jay tiles. I'd like to get him to 6 stars. He's a really cool character who I would like to actually start using. I only have him like level 31 4-star right now. While that is out, so that ends the 14th, and about midway through October 9th, the Master Wu Master event comes back. And this is huge because a lot of people missed out on Master Wu last time. They call it the Wu Screw. Now, I was very, very fortunate. There was about 12 hours left in the Master Wu event, and I got my final 3 Redbeard tiles to get him to 5-star and was able to unlock Master Wu. I tried many times with a 6-star LaCoy. It wasn't happening. Buccaneers without Redbeard, you know, it's not good. It's just not good. It's not a thing. But there was also a 6th node, which you can get 6-star Wu, which not one single person was able to do because it was very, very difficult, borderlining impossible. So if you are doing the booster pass, there's a good chance by the time this Master Wu event rolls around, and at least before it ends, you'll be able to hit level 60 and maybe get 1 or 2 units to Gear 7 of your pirates. Gear 7 is very difficult for pirates because a lot of them their big Gear 7 piece relies on the apples. Those, the new apples they just put into the game. And literally the drop rate for them are so bad. You can only get it in the attacker only daily quest. You only get 2 farms on it. The drop rate is not great. I've managed to get a few of them, and I'm gonna double back. One reason I put a lot of energy into the Quincy event, the brick pace event that's going on now, is because I wanted to finish that event planner timed quest so that I can get at least 3 or 4 of those apples, because those apples are very, very hard to come by. So that was one reason where I kind of put a lot into this event. Another reason was I want to get my space team up for the Gorwell's Great Escape, because that's also going to help with this high level gear. I still have the last 2 nodes on Gorwell's Great Escape to finish. And even then, after 5-starring Captain Cold, or Commander Cold, I keep calling him Captain Cold. After 5-starring him, it's still, I only have a 4-star Quincy right now. Hopefully I can get him to 5-star by the end of the event, but it is definitely, it's still very, very difficult. Quincy's healing is not very consistent, not consistent enough to kind of get through that event. And I'm doing it without Gorwell, but eventually I'll be able to get through it if I get Gen Slate and Gorwell going. So yeah, the Master Wu event, it looks like players are going to be able to get him to 6-star this time, which is what I like to see. I like that now that the cap has gone up. Let's get those Master event figures to 6-star. I'd like to see that with Slimer. I would definitely like to see that with Primo. I would like to see us starting to get those Master events a little higher. And I'm hoping the next Master event, which we're actually going to go over in a little bit, also lets us get them to 6-star. Then October 16th, so right at the end of Woo and right after GGJ ends, Alumni Days comes back. And this is an interesting brick pace, because this is a character in Basil that you don't really necessarily want to get to 7-star. I think it was Bricko did a video a while back about how 5-star Basil is actually better than 7-star for your teams. And I was able to get him to also, I think, 4-star by the end of that brick pace. So I can probably get him to 5-star and then start maxing out his abilities and stuff and actually have a usable Basil. The downside to that is, if we're talking Primo event, if they start adding nodes, you're going to need a 6 and 7-star. But I feel like, he's good, but he's not like, you don't need him for the castle team to be good. He's not like a Burnibus or a Go-Go. But if they did something where you needed Spooky, yeah, you might need tiles for him down the line. But I think you could probably get him to 5 or 6 stars worth of tiles by the end of this event. I feel like they've definitely upped the drop rates. And then October 27th, we finally get the Tyranny of Justice comes back. And I do want to do a little bit of speculation on this one. I think they're going to completely change this brick pace. It was a complete disaster last time. I think they're going to go with the Quincy model, and I think they're going to actually add a 3rd chapter for Admiral Nonsuch, because they did say Nonsuch was coming into the game. So I think that they're going to add a 3rd chapter where you will be able to get Nonsuch. And kind of going back to the Basil event, I also think that they're going to probably put Willa in that event store. It was something that people were clamoring for the first time the Basil event came. They did it this time with Kartovsky, having that Master event figure in the Brick Pace store. And I've seen that people have farmed Kartovsky. Like, people were like, oh my god, here's a chance to get this unit. They just reworked him. He's not bad. He's solid. He's gonna, he works on a techie team. He works with space, got some anti-stealth synergy. This is a chance for us to get this unit. And people did farm him. I think I said this when the Alumni Days came out, if you put Willa in that event store, people who are on the fence, like, do I want to spend? Do I not want to? They're going to spend for Willa. Willa is that good. It's enough is enough of the super whales only having her. It's unfair, and honestly, it's a stupid move on your move, Gameloft. Nobody who whales that hard is whaling to get Willa. They're getting it as like a little extra bonus for whaling that hard. They're gonna whale that hard anyway. Get the rest of the dolphins and the whales in there and give them a chance to at least get a little bit of Willa tiles. Maybe change the Master Event Store exchange rate, because that's awful. So back to Tyranny of Justice again. I think Nonsuch is going to have his own chapter. I don't see him in the artwork, so maybe not, but I think he'll at least be what I predicted should have happened the first time, available in that event store. And I think they're going to give us Private LaCoy, because everybody needs more LaCoy tiles, and finally Valiant tiles in that event store. That was something that they really, really dropped the ball on. And I'd also like to see Eldorado Fortress tiles available in the event store. And now that I'm saying that, I'm thinking that they're going to add a third chapter, probably more likely for Eldorado Fortress, and then maybe just put Nonsuch as a event store exclusive, kind of like Kartovsky was a little bonus in the event store. So maybe they'll add Nonsuch to that event store, and then maybe add them to the Master Shop as well. I do like that as a little precedent that kind of they set with this brick pace is, you know, it'll be available in the brick paces and it'll be available in the Master Shop. So they're a little more accessible, but there's still that rarity and that limited window you can get them. So it will increase spending for people. And I think that that's a good idea. Take my advice already, Gameloft. And the last thing we have is the Ghost Hunting Master Event, a brand new spooky figure, brand new Master Event figure. So the Master Event figures tend to be pretty good plug and play. And now we have 2 Spooky Master Event figures, and I think Spooky is already really good. And I think you're gonna see by November 8th, Spooky should be rocking pretty hard for people. I think if they give availability to Willa in the Basil event, which is coming back, and that this Ghost Hunting, this Black Monarch Ghost, whatever you want to call him, if he's any good, you're going to see a resurgence in Spooky. Right now, Spooky is good, not great. And what makes it good, not great, is the difficulty of the farm of Willa. And the fact that a lot of people didn't up Basil too high because they couldn't get Willa. And now you're talking about Ray is decent, Zombies trash, Spooky Girl's solid, Basil, this new Ghost, Slimer, and Willa. Now you have 7 options. You're probably more likely going to run... I'm going to predict that this is going to be a good Master Event figure and that it's going to be 6-star. So now you're more than likely going to be running Ghost, Slimer, Basil, Willa, maybe Spooky Girl. I would never run Zombie. That's just me. Maybe Ray if you want a little bit of extra support. But yeah, I feel like the Spooky Girl does add a lot to that team. And I'm going to double back again, or triple back, to the brick pace that's going on right now, the Blacktron brick pace. A lot of the reason that I kind of spent the gems I spent the gems, a lot of gems ready to get that event for the apples, but I also spent gems on refreshes because I want to get at least Quincy and I wanted Commander Cole to 5-star because this Master Event is going to require 5-star space to unlock. Probably going to require 6-star space to get 6-star Ghost, and I heard that the difficulty is actually comparable to Master Wu. So it's going to be, there's going to be certain figures you can't do this Master Event without. Like you couldn't do the Master Wu event really without Redbeard. I feel like one of those figures that you're going to need is probably Quincy, and he's not a super awesome radical figure or anything like that, but he is the only consistent healer on that team, and even his healing is a little tricky unless you have Gorwell, but Gorwell's kind of pay to play right now. She'll be available in raids. Anyway, I'm going to jump over to the timed quest right now. This video is getting a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. I was thinking like a 2-minute video. So right now we are on the Spend Gold, the Mr. Moneybags event, October 4th. So this is going to give you a good idea of, hey, let me hoard some stuff so that I can really make sure I do well on these timed quests and get a little bit extra. So that's what I did for Mr. Moneybags. Mashup Energy is coming around October 5th through 11th. I'm going to say I would save up a little bit of gems for refreshes, and you should be able to probably do that one pretty easy. But then October 12th, Mr. Moneybags comes back around. The reward sucked for Mr. Moneybags this time around, but it's been good in the past, and I think we're going to be able to get a lot of the newer, higher gear that has a bad drop rate in these timed events. Plus, we're getting tier 3 ability elixirs and set tools from these. Energy one, which I also managed to complete without really breaking the bank. You know, I do my gem refreshes twice a day for each one, and it was pretty easy to do. October 19th to 25th, and then October 25th to November 1st, you're going, October 26th to November 1st, you're going to get the gold event back. That'll be actually lined up with the Black Monarch Ghost Master event, which is going to actually give you a lot of gold. That's what I really like about Master events. They do give a fair amount of gold. So, you know, be ready for these things. Really, it's the gold you got to save up for, because the Mr. Moneybags is very hard to do unless you're kind of hoarding your gold. And just kind of be ready for the events. Get your space ready for the Black Monarch Ghost. I'm telling you, be ready, because I think Spooky is going to keep rising. It's already a good team. I think it's going to be a great team. I think you're going to see Willa availability. And I think you're going to see the Black Monarch Ghost be a great Master event figure. Well, anyway, that's all I got today, Knuckleheads. Please remember to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding that little bell for some notifications, and as always, remember to knuckle up.
She blocked me on Instagram. I don't give a damn about that. I can see your face, still feel the same. I don't feel the need to forget your name.